I get yelled at for giving a customer what they wanted. So either the story is going to get buried or removed for maybe not fitting the sub. But I didn't know where else this would fit. If the formatting is bad, it's because I'm on mobile. Also, it's more of an entitled grandmother than anything. To start off, I work in an Orange Julius at a local mall for about 4 years and always had good customer experience besides one other girl in this family. The family consisted of a grandmother, Matherm, a child that looks about 3 to 4 years old, and the aunt of the childa. The mother came to buy a drink and was figuring out what she wanted before saying she would like a mango pineapple. I asked her twice if she was sure of MP and took the order. She paid with card and I asked if she wanted a receipt and she said no. So I took the copy the store needed for the deposit and didn't print the customer copy and got to work on her order. I gave it to her and moved on with my day. About 5 minutes later, the grandmother comes over and then asks the following question to the best of my understanding since she spoke really fast. Quick note: smoothies in Julius are made different and of different pricings. And as the conversation goes on, GM gets more and more aggressive. GM: why did you give us mango instead of an Orange Julius? Me: that's what was ordered. A medium mango pineapple. GM: but the baby is allergic to it. Me: I'm sorry, but I just made what was ordered. GM: can you just remake it? Me: I can't sense. GM: what's the difference? Me: explains the difference. GM: so why can't you remake it? Me: because the pricing is different. If it was the same drink type, I would have no issue making it, but since it's a different type, I would need to charge you for the new drink. The aunt shows up at this point with a clearly 1/4 drunk drink and actually tries to help me explain to the GM. GM: I can't believe this. Where is your manager? Me: I'm sorry, but I'm the only one on for the rest of the night. GM: that's a lie. I saw a fat mammy boss who left for the day back there before. Go get him. Me: I can't, he left. GM: I'll just wait here all day then. Cause this ain't right. Some people come up and she says take their order, so I did. She then left and came back with everyone in tow. And restarts the conversation of why I can't remake the order without charging. When I get to the point of saying that they don't have a receipt, the mom finally jumps in. You never gave me one. GM: how can we get a refund when you didn't give her a receipt? Me: a little annoyed at this point, he asked if she wanted one and she said no. I also asked if she was sure about mango pineapple twice and she said yes. You don't have proof of purchase on you. We have the store copy like I said, but we need pop on their end for a refund. I made the drink as requested. And it's a completely different price. So I'm sorry, but unless you pay for a new drink, I can't do anything. They once again left, and a minute or so later the aunt and GM are back, but again we explain it slowly to her why I can't just make a new drink unless they pay for it and throw away the one they currently have. If they wanted the same drink type, I would have just done it because the price would have been the same. As long as they tossed the first drink, I would have helped. Or if the mother remembered her baby was allergic at any point before the handoff, I would have stopped what I was doing, dumped the drink and changed the flavor with no issue. TLDR: I get yelled at for giving someone a drink that they ordered because their child is allergic to the flavor. Well, they are definitely entitled in parental units. So it should fit. How dare you give me what I asked for? This is why I like being a security guard. We can tell these people to GTFO instead of dealing with their BS. I'm glad most of your time there was positive though. I can't believe someone could be that dumb and can't listen from the person who is trying to help you. It honestly doesn't even sound like the baby is allergic. For one, a mother isn't going to forget what her child is allergic to. For another, there wouldn't be 1/4 of the drink gone when they came back if the child was allergic. If the child was allergic, and apparently drank 1/4 of it, then they'd have way more important matters to attend to than getting another drink. An Orange Julius and a mango pineapple are in no way, shape, or form similar enough that the mother was simply mistaken in her order. Especially given you repeated it back multiple times. Honestly, just sounds like whoever got the mango pineapple just didn't like it. And figured that feeding you a lie about allergies would get them a new drink for free. You can also try our /entitled people for non-parent stories. You broke my second-hand TV? I'll take your 1,300 jewelry. Okay, here goes. This is a stinker of a story. I got a call from my mom an hour ago telling me her BF is going ape-speed because she broke his second-hand TV. By mistake. She knocked a tacky dog statue on it while cleaning. Now he wants her 18-karat gold diamond cross he bought her for St. Valentine's Day this year to replace it. Now fair enough, this cross is huge and tacky, but he wants 1,300 for a 200 TV he bought second hand. Am I wrong for telling her to tell him to peep off? BTW, he has at least 3 other TVs in the house. I don't know if you are capable of dealing with this, but I would go over there and make sure your mom is not getting slapped around. This dude sounds like someone who would do that. No, believe me, he tried hitting once years ago. She hit him back, stormed out, leaving him with a black eye. Now I don't believe in violence, but he started it, so she finished it. Tell your mom to leave this guy unless he changes his behavior. We don't steal back gifts when things happen. Of course she shouldn't give him back her necklace. Unless she pawns it to escape him, of course. You're not in the wrong. That is overkill. He has many spares. She was doing so as she was sprucing up his place for him. So as I can imagine, it is not the first time. Maybe she should be compensated for her domestic accidents. If she had been working professionally in home care / maid etc., she would be able to make a decent amount. So the least he can do by her is compensation. Also, if it is truly the desire / need that can be used / desire to be used for said compensation for repairs, and as you said, it is big and tacky. That is what pawn shops are for, and she would have a decent chunk left over to get herself something really nice. After having to deal with the ridiculous ordeal. He is just behaving like an entitled, disrespectful, self-centered child. NTA. If he has 3 other TVs, then he has no right to get upset over an accident, because he can just exchange any of the 3 other TVs to cover the loss of that one until he gets the one that was damaged repaired or replaced. Accidents happen, but if it was on purpose, then that would be a different story. Maybe he liked that one the most because the others weren't energy efficient or didn't provide excellent HD picture quality. Sound. Or was one of those TVs where you have streaming brands that partner with TV makers so people can watch the streaming channels without the need for a tabletop streaming device because the streaming device is built into that TV. I would say he also has no right to take her jewelry over an accident either. The only time a person can take someone's stuff legally is if you sue them and win the case, but the person who was counter-suing you can't afford to pay you for the settlement, so some auctioneers will come to that person's house along with some police officers after a judge signs off on it to obtain items to pay off the settlement you are deserved. If the items are not enough to pay the settlement, they can take part of that person's paycheck until the figure for the settlement is paid off. I got pepper sprayed. This happened a while ago and I'm still trying to wrap my head around what happened. Put your seatbelts on, you're in for a ride. I'm a 16-year-old who since lockdown has been very lazy. I live near some bush with a path that runs along a river. Very nice area and is very popular. I had been eating a lot of lollies and cake, so I decided to get my fat ass up and to go for a run. It was like midday. And it was hot, so running was really hard and I was sweating like a pig. I have this thing where if I go for a run when it's hot I tend to vomit. Not seriously, but just little pukes as I run. Today, especially after eating so much crap, I was feeling extra sick. As I ran I could feel a sick sensation in my stomach and I knew I was going to puke. As I'm not a dick, I went a little of the track to puke in a bush. This is when EP entitled parent comes with a small dog and a young kid. This is a summary of the encounter. Excuse me, young man. She looked like one of those women from those witch movies. And she was scary. What the hell are you doing? I said, oh sorry, I just needed to vomit. No need to worry. It's really hot and this happens when I get too hot. I thought this woman had a heart and was seeing if I was okay. Boy was I wrong. EP. You know this is a public area. Maybe you should hold it in. That is disgusting and I don't want my kids seeing you puke. Please hold it in so the public doesn't see you, disgusting pig. I was kinda pissed off at this point. I'm sorry. I can't hold it in. I'm off the track and am not hurting anyone, so please leave me alone. EPF you. You kids are so disrespectful. I don't want to see you vomit. I'm going to call the police as you are disturbing the public. Please stop. You can just walk past. Please just leave me alone. At this point I was angry, scared, and I just wanted to go. I still felt sick and I knew I was going to vomit any second, but I really didn't want this lady to call the police on me. I started to walk past her when she grabbed me. You stay and wait for the police. She started to call the police. I needed to vomit so bad. I tried to move away from this crazy lazy lady. She grabbed me by my hair. I have longish hair for a guy. At this point I was like, stuff it, so vomited all over the ground. Some getting on her dog and her, the poor kid, who at this point was sitting and playing with some flowers. The lady screamed. The dog didn't mind and was licking the vomit, and the kid just sat there, oblivious to the whole situation. The lady Still screaming, pulled out her self-defense pepper spray and sprayed me in the eyes with it. The pain was unbearable and I collapsed crying and clutching my eyes. A saint of a man who was walking by saw me crying and this lady with pepper spray. And immediately put two and two together. Running over to grab the pepper spray. And make this lady lie down while checking me to see if I was okay. I didn't see or really remember what happened next, but the police was called and this lady was arrested. The bystander stayed with me the whole time and even went to the hospital with me. My parents were away. The aftermath. The EP got arrested and got jail time. The EP husband, a super nice bloke, came to my house to personally apologize and got me a game for my Xbox as an apology gift. The bystander's family and my family became pretty good friends. And I became very good friend with his daughter who was my age. We are dating now. I didn't have serious damage to my eyes, but I need glasses for reading now, which sucks. The whole ordeal was so weird, but I did make new friends out of it, so I'd if it was that bad. Anyway, sorry about the weird writing style, but I had to tell the world about me random EP story. Some people are psychos who live in a fantasy world. Where pepper spray is like a light slap in the face. And vomiting is something controllable. Sorry that happened to you. Every cloud has a silver lining, eh? You did get some eye damage then if you need glasses now. Seriously, sue that beat for every single penny you can. I wouldn't have been able to hold myself back the second she touched me. If she grabbed my arm, her arm is going to be ripped from me as hard as it needs to be. If she grabbed my hair, my foot is pushing against her leg. My parents think it's okay to pinch my bum. So basically I'm 32F living at my parents' home for a couple of weeks with my husband and kids until our new house is ready. On separate occasions both my parents have pinched my bum. They did this to me as a kid and I don't think I thought anything of it. It was some weird joke they did to me and my brother. They never have and never do anything else inappropriate like that or invade my personal space otherwise. They also don't do this to my kids. However, I think the fact they think this is okay to do to me is weird. They know I hate it and I literally jump away with a scream and feel so uncomfortable. I also have told them I hate it and not to touch me like that, but they think it's funny. They do exhibit plenty of other entitled parent behavior, but this is the one I've decided to bring to Reddit. I do not recommend this. However, in my fantasy, 5 minutes before you move out, your husband gooses your father and your mother. Ha! This would honestly do the trick. If he is uncomfortable with this or it isn't enough, you need one crazy friend who will do it in the middle of a dinner together in front of tons of people. Imagine mom getting goosed in a restaurant in front of dozens of strangers. Bet that ends it very fast. The fact they think it's funny after you've told them to stop shows they know this is not okay behavior. Doesn't matter what it is that they do. If the other person says stop, then they need to stop. I've always had a bubble butt. But as a toddler and up to 6-year-old boy it was especially prevalent. My father and sister, oldest sibling, 12 years my senior, would goose me and yell pinchables. My sister stopped after I did the same to a large black man in a grocery store checkout line. Not that race had anything to do with it, but I'm basically as white as they come to look at, and he followed at my sister and said, "Lady, you need to learn to keep control of your kid." Obviously. Mistook my sister for my mother. Safe never did it again, though I got to hear that story plenty of times. I was probably 4 at the time. My father stopped when he took me to his physical when I was 6 and I houses the nurse. I knew better than to tell pinchables at that point. And he got a good smack. Never did it to me again. And I went pinch free until my clubbing days in college. My grandmother used to do that to me. She stopped when I slapped her. It was pure instinct. I was out shopping picking up groceries. She came up behind me in the store and pinched me and I slapped her right across the face. She got upset and I told her that I have told her thousands of times to stop and only slapped once. She should consider herself lucky. She never pinched me again. Give them a lesson in consent. Blow up at them or do whatever you need to do to make them realize you have a right to say who touches your body or not. They are touching you without consent, that's assault. My dad does this. He stops for a couple years and does it again and I tell him to stop. I even slap his hand. It really made me not like my butt being touched or being the center of attention. I would tell them stop it, and if you don't I will call authorities. My therapist recommended that for me and it worked.